Wow, that's weird. Let me fix myself. I don't know why I'm way down like that. Hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. Not Zenfolio Live, it's Site Review Tuesday. I'm all kinds of backwards today, you guys. Welcome to Site Review Tuesday. Let me fix my camera so you can actually see me. I have no idea why it's down there. That's really weird. There we go, much better. Give me a second chance here. All right, hey everybody, and welcome to Site Review Tuesday. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success. I want to say thanks for jumping on today and joining us on the live stream. If you guys are watching today and you know how this works, thanks for coming back and hanging out with us. For those of you guys, this is your first time watching a Site Review Tuesday, I'm going to run over the rules. But to get things started, for those of you guys who are watching us live right now, I need you to do me two favors. One would be, first, drop a number in the chat, 1 through 57. That's going to help me pick the first site that I'm going to review. And then let us know where you guys are from, right? Let us know where you guys are tuning in from and hanging out and watching us from. We appreciate you guys who come on here and join us live and hang out with us. I hope you guys all had your omelets this morning, because this is going to be a fun one. We're going to be reviewing 3 sites today, absolutely live. We're going to be doing 15 minutes per review, and the third site is going to come from one of you guys who are hanging out with us live. So I'm about to throw a link out in the chat here in just a second, and you can click on that link and you can submit your site to be reviewed. And then the third site that we review today is going to come from that doc. So you guys, if you're on here, if you're watching, click that. Make sure that you guys get your site in there. We're going to randomly select one and have it reviewed at the end. So again, this is how it works. 3 sites are going to be reviewed. 2 of them are coming from our backlog of sites that need to be reviewed. We're going to be doing 15 minutes per review. The third site's going to be coming from one of you guys who are hanging out with us in the chat. And as always, we're going to be giving out points, but we're not really keeping score. This is all for fun. All right, so just for fun. So the scoring and the points and all that doesn't mean anything at all. It's just something fun. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. Hope everybody's staying safe, staying smart. We do have some announcements really quick. So first of all, I want to say a big congratulations to Ariel Celeste Photography, who won the Zenfolio photo contest. I think it was either last week or the week before. This is her winning photo. She picked up a free year of Zenfolio. So congrats to Ariel Celeste Photography. Again, just a really cool photo. I really love these star trail photos, and especially here with the cabin in the background. Just an absolute beautiful photo. Congratulations to you, Ariel. Thanks for submitting the photo, and I'm sure we'll be having more photo contests in the future, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And then more announcements for you guys. This week on Zenfolio Live, we're going to talk about selling your photos online. We're going to talk about how to make the most out of any unexpected downtime. So I know with everything going on right now as photographers, there's a chance that we might be experiencing some downtime where we're not doing a lot of shoots like we're used to. And so I just want to give you guys some suggestions on some things that you can do during that downtime to still focus on your photography business, so that when all of this is past, that we can keep going stronger than ever. So make sure that you guys tune in for that. Also, you guys, make sure that you're being smart, make sure that you're being safe, wash your hands, and let's make sure that we look out for each other through this time, because we need each other to help each other out, to make sure that we're taking care of each other, but doing it in a smart and a safe way. All right. Okay, you guys, I saw number 13 in the chat, so let me go grab website 13 and we will start on the site review. So let me go grab that really quick and get this over here. Let me see here. So this is going to be Conklin Photographic LLC. So let's see here. And yes, as Lynn is saying, happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day for sure, you guys. Let me grab this and bring it over here, and we're going to start on this review. Let me get this set up here. And again, you guys, if you're watching live, make sure that you get your websites in that link that I threw out there. That way we're gonna do the third review for one of the sites that you guys submitted today. Let's go ahead and jump over here and let's get our review time going. fix myself there. I'm having all kinds of camera issues and stuff going on today. All right, let me get this fixed here. And then, like I said, 15 minutes on the review clock. We're going to be giving out points, but not keeping score. Let's go ahead and get this started. All right. All right, so starting out here on the homepage, let me bring this down so you guys can see the address here. This is Conklin. I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm mispronouncing this, I am sorry. I do not have the best pronunciation when it comes to names, but this is ConklinPhotographic.com. There's the site address right there for you guys. We're going to go ahead and be reviewing this. So while I have this down here, a couple of things I do want to point out. Up here, and this I see this pretty commonly, and you guys, this isn't a really big issue, but it's something worth pointing out. So these are things that, as we have this unexpected downtime, these are things that we can be cleaning up and doing to our own sites, right? So keep these in mind. Up here in the top, we still have the default Zenfolio favicon right here. That is under Customize Website, Site Settings, Logos and Icons, and that is your browser icon. Let's go ahead and get a custom logo up here that's 16 by 16 pixels, and then make it something that's going to match your website as well, which we're going to get into that in a second. Now, the other thing that I want to point out here is the website title is simply just the URL repeated up here at the top. That does not do a lot for your SEO. So in that website title, these are oftentimes things that we set up right when we first create the account, and then we never really think about going back and changing them. So under that website title, change that to say your business name, and then you could put a little bit about the type of photography you do. So you could put like a tube there or a little dash or something. You could say offering, looks like you're doing like equine photography, and hopefully I'm saying that right. Hopefully there's no equine people on here who I'm offending by my bad pronunciation, but you could say something like offering equine photography in the, I don't know, Northern Raleigh area or something like that. So you want to put information in that website title that's going to help your SEO for a couple of reasons. One, that is what's going to show up here in that top corner right here, but really that's not the biggest reason. The biggest reason is because this title is what shows in search results. So when people go and they search for something and they're looking through the different options of websites to click on, that little section that's really bold on the search results, that is your website title. And if this website title just says something as simple as Conklin Photography or ConklinPhotographic.com, it doesn't tell me much about your website, right? So I don't know if this has what I'm looking for in it. So definitely add more information here. Now, just going over this looks like this is kind of just left to be the display name. So I would definitely think about maybe setting up a logo. And honestly, this looks like it might be a default kind of setting where you kind of set this site up to serve existing clients and you haven't really come back and changed it or something like that. So definitely think about taking a look at our site presets, right? Going to customize website view, taking a look at the site presets and look at something that might make these pop out a little bit more. We just have this standard image kind of setting here and there's not a lot showing. So if I am a website visitor and I have no idea who you are, right now I'm not having a lot of information given to me about the services that you offer. I don't see much of your images. There's not a lot here. Now, we're going to explore your site a little bit further, but there's not a lot here for me to look at right out the gate. And I say this a lot on site reviews, but when you think about the purpose of your website, a lot of times as photographers, we really want our website to be to capture new customers, right? Clients, if we need to service existing clients, we can do that on the back end. It doesn't have to be public facing. It's really easy to do on the back end. In my opinion, and you guys let me know what you think about in chat, the front end of your website should all be about capturing people's attention and convincing them or getting them to hire you as a photographer. And so we're missing a lot of information here. We're missing a lot of photos. I just see one photo right here. Now, one of the things I do think is nice is that we do know right away where you are located down here. We have your location information, your phone number, and all of that stuff. But again, I want to see more photos. I want to see more content as well. And I would definitely think about redoing this site, trying out one of our presets. Let's get a more dynamic presentation. Let's see a little bit more images, maybe a slideshow or something like that on here. All right, so definitely some more things that you could add to this for sure. Okay, we're just gonna follow this site menu item and see where we can go and see what this takes us to. So we're gonna hover over my photographs, and I like that you have a drop down here. Now, again, designing this for visitors, my photographs, it looks like you're photographing horse shows. So maybe you might wanna separate these and say horse shows, maybe portfolio, something like that. But just think about the people who are visiting your site. Think about the actions you want them to take and provide them with a path to follow. So let's click on my photographs and let's go to your 2020 horse shows. All right. And now right away, I'm hitting a roadblock for me. Like as a visitor, I know nothing about you. And if I come across your site because I'm looking for photographers, I've only seen one single photo. And now you want me to give you my name and my email address to see more. And so this for me is a big roadblock because I haven't seen anything else about you. I haven't seen anything else of your work. I don't want you to spam me. I'm not saying that you're going to spam me. I'm just saying if I'm a visitor, I'm already worried about getting too many emails. We all get too many emails. So for me, this is a big roadblock because I've only seen one single photo and I just want to see a few more photos. And now I have to give you my email address. For me, I love visitor sign-in. Don't get me wrong, you guys. I think visitor sign-in is a very powerful feature, right? But we need to implement it at the right time. And before allowing me to see more than just one photo and having me give you my email address, for me personally, I don't feel like that's the right time. I feel like you need to put that a little bit later down the road. Like you at least need to have a portfolio preview where people can see a preview of your work. And then if they want to see more, then you have a link to where they click to see more. And that's when you ask them for their email address. But just so that we can move further, I'm going to put a name in here. So I'm just going to call myself Persnickety. All right. And then I'm just going to make up an email here really quick. I'm just going to say email@yopmail.com. And we're just going to continue on and take a look. All right. So now we can actually get in here and look at some photos. Now I've given you my email address, my name, and now I'm landing on a page that looks like this. And so this is definitely something that you need to think about. You need to think about this, right? If you've got a visitor to give you their name and their email address and you land them on a page like this, we need to have more content. Now, I know maybe some of these are gray because maybe these shows haven't happened yet because this is 2020 horse shows. So maybe some of these are gray because this show hasn't happened yet. What you can do is you can go in and set up a custom group thumbnail. So get the logo from the show, right? Get the logo from the show, pull that logo up in Photoshop, and then throw a coming soon text over that logo, or make a little white square with that horse show logo, put photos coming soon, maybe put a date on there, save that, upload that into your Zenfolio account, and then make that the thumbnail for this folder or this group. So that way, as a visitor, as a client, when I get here, I'm not looking at this and then these two blank squares. I'm seeing, oh, Four Seasons horse show images coming soon. The logo's here. Okay, same thing over here, right? Because it's already kind of been a little bit of difficulty getting to these pages. But let's go in and check out the ones where we actually have some images in here. All right, and so what we're seeing is we're seeing the grid page for a group. And then these are different galleries. So inside of Zenfolio, you have the ability to make groups, and you have the ability to make groups, and then inside of those groups, you can have different galleries. So like different events, different horses and things like that. This is a pretty common way to set it up. It's a great way to set it up when you have a lot of people coming in and trying to navigate through to different galleries to see different photos and things like that. So one of the things, again, that I would really recommend is going back into Customize View and just giving some of our site presets a look over, because this layout and this whole thing is really basic, and there are some really quick things that you could change in site presets to redesign your entire site with a few clicks and kind of freshen up the look. So I definitely recommend that. The other thing as well is I'm seeing your all photographs up here in the breadcrumbs, and I definitely don't recommend showing all photographs. Like in your Zenfolio account, you definitely want to have areas that are only for specific clients or only for you. Like maybe you want to store your logo files, or you want to back up your phone camera into your Zenfolio account, right? You definitely want to have places in your Zenfolio account that are not for the general public to access. And so in order to prevent them from even trying to access that, you're going to want to make sure that you have this all photographs at least hidden. You can hide the full path to the gallery. All of that's going to be under customized view, options, and then to hide the path to the gallery, it's going to be on page elements, hide path to gallery. Just to hide all photographs, you're going to want to go down to site settings on the lower left and then turn off that all photographs from appearing in your breadcrumbs. Okay, now as far as this layout goes, again, I really think that this could use a freshen up. Definitely trying out one of our site presets, kind of letting these images be a little bit larger, maybe even letting them show in their natural aspect ratio. So if some of these are portrait oriented images, this grid is going to kind of do some different things with it. You definitely want to kind of freshen it up. So it looks like these are just different galleries. So let's click on a gallery really quick and let's just take a look and see what this looks like. Okay, so again, this is kind of an older grid, it's an older style, and then one of the things that you might notice as well is not only is this an older style, but we're seeing what's called pagination on here. So is it pagination or pagination? It's one of those two words, but basically instead of this being a full continuously scrolling page, I have to click on these different page numbers, or I have to hit show all to load everything. So it's going to make the navigation of this a little more difficult for your visitors, right? They're going to have to be clicking on different pages. And one of the things that will happen too, so just to show you here, like if we go back to show pages, they're clicking on these different pages, right? They have to remember what page an image was at, and they have to go back and forth and navigate. So like I personally would probably set up and do a continuous scrolling one. Again, that's just going to be changing your pages up a little bit. So something to think about there. What do you guys think in chat about this? Also too, down here, I said we have the guest book right here. The guest book has 0 entries. You guys know I say this on most of the site reviews. Most of the site reviews, I definitely recommend turning off the guest book. Usually, if you are not moderating the guest book, if you're not approving public comments, that guest book becomes basically a place for people to spam, and you'll end up with all kinds of crazy links and all kinds of weird stuff posted on there. So if you're going to use your guest book, you need to understand how to go and turn on moderation so that people can't just publicly post to it before you approve their post, or you can just turn it off entirely. All right, so some things to think about there. All right, let's just click on an image and let's see what happens. Now this is going to be loading up into what's called Quick Shop. This is definitely the buying experience that I prefer. I like having it set up this way because it's really easy to navigate through. You can just go like this and kind of navigate through your images this way, and then over here on the right you have a buying panel. Now as Zapcat's saying, he says, I like to break my events up into time slices. That is definitely nice to do when you have a big race event like this. You can definitely use that pagination, however you say it, you can definitely use that as a way to break things up so that there are, you know, a small few pages of images here, and then clients kind of have to navigate through. The other way you can do that as well is just through galleries. So there's lots of different ways to set it up. Now, a couple of things up here that's kind of showing: the make an album button showing, the share button showing, the slideshow button showing. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying if you're going to have that stuff showing, you want to make sure that you understand how it works and that you have a reason for it to be there and that you want it to be there, because a lot of these are kind of things that might be turned on by default and then you haven't gone back in and looked at it and tested it out. If you want the make an album button on there, perfectly fine, leave it on there. Just make sure that you understand how these work. All right, I got a minute left, you guys. Let me go ahead and just check out a couple of other pages. Let's check out your about page really quick. All right, so on your about page, we've got a pretty cool photo here. But I want to know what you look like. If I hire you as a photographer, or if I'm out at one of these horse races, I want to know who I'm looking for. Obviously, I'm looking for somebody with a camera, but are you going to be green with fruit hanging from your head? Like, I want to know what you look like as a client, as a potential client when I'm out at these horse shows. So I definitely want to see at least an actual photo of you here. Now, I'm always going to advocate about videos. I think they're the best way to let your personality come across, to explain to visitors, what it's like working with you, to let them get a sense of your personality. So I definitely love to see a video here as well. Trying to make sure that I don't run out of time, but I think I'm going to be running out of time. Let's check out your contact page. This looks like it's the built-in contact page. Perfectly fine to use. One of the things I did notice across your site, so I'm going to give you a great job for that, is that things are pretty consistent for the most part. When I'm clicking on different pages, I wasn't seeing different color changes and all of that, but I would definitely recommend to come back and check out some of the site presets. All right, but I do want to say thank you for submitting your site for review. Hopefully some of those things that I pointed out were helpful. Definitely go back and check it out, and thanks again. All right, let me say hi to some of you guys on chat really quick. I kind of rushed through the intro because I was having weird camera issues, and I just downed a bunch of coffee. If it doesn't show, hopefully it doesn't show. But let's see. We've got Katie hanging out with us modding. Appreciate Katie coming on here every Tuesday and hanging out with me. She does a great job taking care of you guys in chat. Super, super helpful. Really awesome. Love having Katie hanging out with me. We've got Zapcat, Lynn McEntee. I can't read and I can't pronounce things. Sorry, Lynn. Kathleen Riley throwing up a clover. Thanks, Kathleen, for jumping on here. Let's see. CEST George or St. George. So CEC St. George says, hi, I am new. Thanks for jumping on here. CEC, this is a great place to be, especially if you're new. A great place to come and learn about Zenfolio. All right, let's see who else do I have on here. Did I miss anybody? I think I've got everybody. Oh, we've got Pamela Stage. Sorry, I have a bad time pronouncing names. She says hello. Thanks for jumping on here, Pamela, and hanging out. Guys, if you are watching, we've still got 38 minutes left. So if you have a site that you want reviewed, all right, please make sure that you get it into the doc right here. I'm pasting that link in the chat now. That is where you can throw your website link, and not the next site that we review, but the third and final site that we review is going to come from one of you guys that's hanging out with us live today. So make sure that you throw your site in that link. All right. Okay, guys, I am going to go and pick a random site from our backlog. So let me go and grab a random site for you guys. 1 second here. Really quick, though, how are you guys doing? How's everybody's week going? I know things are crazy. Hopefully everybody is staying sane, staying safe, staying smart. If you missed it earlier, I was talking about what's coming up for this week on Zenfolio Live. So this Thursday on Zenfolio Live, we're going to talk about selling your photos online, and then we're going to kind of give some ideas and some things that you can do during any potential unexpected downtime that you may have. I know a lot of us as photographers are probably going to have some of that this week and next week, and who knows for how long we might have some potential downtime while we're not out doing shoots and different things like that. So I want to kind of just give you guys some ideas this Thursday on things that you can do to make sure that you're still working on your business, that you're still maximizing that downtime if you are lucky enough to get some downtime. All right, let me grab this site over here, and this is Unique Boutique Photography. So let me drag this over here really quick. Let's get this up here. Whoa, that's way too big. Hold on, let me fix it here. There we go. And let me size it in right down here. All right, and then, okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started here on this review. So 15 minutes on the clock. Make sure that you guys throw your sites on that link, because I'm going to be picking one random site from there here in a second to review after this one. All right, so here we go. Let's get the review time going. Okay, so Unique Boutique Photography, just starting out, that link is ubphotollc.com. All right, and you do have the favicon set up. I love the green. You have the green up here, the green down here. I like those elements tying in. I can't really see what else you have in your website title. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot there, mousing over it, but there's definitely room to put stuff in there about the type of photography you do. Even though we can't see it here, you guys need to remember this is the website title that shows up. So if I go to Google and I search for boutique, or if I search for, I don't know, just photographers in general. If I search for photographers in general, all right, this is your website title right here. This is your website title. That's what you need to think about. And that's the kind of information that you need to put in that title to show up here. Not so much that we're concerned about it here as much as how it affects the way you show up on search results. All right, let me drag this back up here. Really cool logo. I love the green. The green is a little hard to read, not extremely hard, but it could be a little harder on monitors where the contrast isn't as well. So something to think about on these images here, and especially down here as the text gets a little bit smaller. Something to think about. Maybe you might want to go in and darken that up or make those that font a little bit larger. You can do all of that through Theme Designer on Zenfolio. You can customize the fonts and all of that stuff and change it. Okay, so let's talk about the homepage. So quite a few images on here. I think you have some beautiful photos. Let's scroll down here. One of the things I am noticing is I'm seeing a watermark on the photos. Perfectly fine. I definitely understand having a watermark on your images when you're showing them online. But one of the questions I always have is, how do you guys feel about watermarked images on the homepage? Do you think it's a necessity? Do you think it makes it look okay? Do you think it takes away from it, that it distracts? That's my question for you guys in chat. So let me know what you guys think about that. Now, there are a lot of images here on the homepage. As you can see, I can keep scrolling and scrolling, and there's a lot of photos. So one of the things I always like to say about the homepage is this is your elevator pitch. This is your 10 seconds to convince your visitors to keep moving on and going to whatever destination on your site you want them to land to. We do not want people hanging out on the homepage. We want them to see our homepage to say, oh, their photos are beautiful. Where do I go to learn more, right? And with this little scroll bar here, they're going to kind of be scrolling down, looking, and then the next thing they know, they're sidetracked, when really what we wanted them to do is say, oh, beautiful photos, let's go see the rest of her work, instead of scrolling down here. So that's definitely something to think about on your homepage, is how long do you want people to stay there? Where do you want them to go next, and work on getting them to that destination. All right, now we're going to hover over portfolio and go check out your portfolio. Great job setting up the drop down, you guys. If you're not utilizing drop downs, they are fantastic. They make the navigation of your site so much faster for visitors, and they let people get directly to the areas of your site that they want to go to in a very quickly and easy manner. Now, I love that you're keeping the colors consistent. I think this contrast is okay. The text is a little small, but I think it's fine. All right, so we're going to click on engagements and weddings, and we're just going to go check that out. Now we're landing in here, and we have a square grid here. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, I want to point out, if we go back to the home page, the navigation is staying the same. Perfectly fine. That's awesome. That's the way I recommend it, because the theme is the same. So this is your site header. That's what you were using previously. This is definitely what I recommend, is using that site header to keep the navigation the same. The images and the grid look different though, and that's what kind of throws me off a little bit. This is a square grid, okay? And so this is, I think, called grid C, if I'm correct. But Zenfolio lets you display your images in different grid styles. Not that there's anything wrong with displaying a square grid, right? We're all used to Instagram. We're all used to that kind of square grid flow. The problem that I have with a square grid is that it can crop your images. So if you are aligning things up on your third mark over here somewhere, there's a chance that if you're using a square grid, that part of the image might get cut off. So I personally like to use either grid A or grid B, with grid B being my preferred grid to use, because I like the way it makes the page look. It makes the landscape oriented images as tall as your portrait oriented images. And if you're a portrait photographer, that makes it a lot easier to see the faces in your horizontal shots as well as your vertical shots. So that's the grid that I prefer. You can change that in your grid options and customize website view. So a couple of things here I want to point out. We can definitely add more to this title, you guys. Whenever you title galleries, groups, anything that you can title in your site, that's useful for your SEO. You can add more than just engagements and weddings. You could say engagements and weddings, put in the location. You could say Raleigh, North Carolina, weddings and engagement photography portfolio, Lots of different ways that you can title your portfolio galleries because that title matters. And then the other thing as well is a caption down here, right? So far, I'm not sure what location you're in. I didn't see anything on the homepage. And so gallery captions and the gallery title is a really good place that you can include that information. Just a simple way to let people know, oh, they shoot in Raleigh. Okay, now I know this is somebody I can hire because they're only 20 minutes away from me. Using your gallery title and your gallery captions is a great way to do that. All right, let's scroll down. Let's see how many images we have here. All right. Again, this is quite a few images. You can see how small the scroll bar is. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you want to show a lot of images, that's fine. Just, again, thinking about what action is most important for visitors to take on your website and where do you want to guide them to. Do you want them staying here and scrolling through these images? And if so, then you want to show a lot of images. Or do you want them seeing your best 10 to 15 images and then saying, okay, this photographer has the style that I like, their work is great, they service my location. How do I contact them to talk about pricing? How do I contact them to potentially book them? Or how do I learn more about the photographer? What actions do you want people to take? And you should be continuously setting up your site to drive people towards taking that action. All right, so let's scroll down here really quick and let's take a look at the bottom. All right, down here on the bottom, we are missing categories and keywords. So if you have categorized and keyworded these photos, none of that information is showing here on the site because it's not showing, so it's not helping your SEO. You want to make sure you come back in and show that. And then we have the tweet and the like button here. I say this quite a bit when I see this. If you're going to show this, have some friends come in and mash that like button for you so that people don't see 0 likes. Otherwise, just go ahead and turn it off. But either call in some favors or have a friend come in here and kind of hit that like button up and boost those likes. Now, you do have client access down here. If you're using that, that's perfectly fine. I prefer not to use the client access feature. I like Zenfolio's direct scheduled email ability, where we can directly email our clients to their galleries, or we can schedule emails to go out at a certain time and give clients link to their galleries. That's my preferred method. Client access is perfectly fine as well, and it's nice to have it down here. And then you have your information down here. So now we know you're located in New York. So I know that you're a little ways away from me, but at least I know where you're at now if I wanted to hire you. So there we go. All right, so let's go back up to the top and let's check one more portfolio. Let's go down to holidays and take a look here. So again, everything is looking consistent, right? So I think great job keeping things consistent. It's important that when people navigate to different sections of your site, it doesn't feel like they're going to an entirely different website. So that is very important. I think you've done a great job here of doing that. Again, same feedback on the grid. If this is the look that you prefer, absolutely fine to leave it this way. Do you want these social media icons down here? That's always something I like to ask people. You don't have to have those down here. There is a share button that you can show up here as well. And that's just going to be changing some options in the gallery. But again, quite a few images, not as much as the other gallery. So this is probably pretty close to about what I would usually recommend. Maybe a few less, but not too bad. One of the things I am noticing is that the grid has some padding to it, so it kind of is giving this that squished in feel, like it's not expanding over the page and it's squishing in. And I don't know if that was intentionally done, but if you're doing this to try to accommodate mobile viewing, Zenfolio does have a mobile version of your website already set up. You don't have to worry about that. And so for me, I like to see these photos own a little bit more real estate here on the grid page, right? I don't like this squish, and this is just a personal preference. This is making me claustrophobic, I guess is the best way to say it. All right, but you can definitely change these up, or if you prefer these, what do you guys think? Do you guys like the square grid like this? Do you like the more Instagram-y look like this? The only downside, I think, is that it does and can crop your images if your images are kind of off to the side. If you're using your rule of thirds, you can have some cropping issues there with this kind of grid. But let me know in chat what you guys think about that. All right, let's take a look at your About page. So let's check out your About page. And so we have coming soon. For information, we have your email address right here, and then we have your logo. So we definitely want you to get at least an about photo in here and some information about you, right? Once your visitors see your portfolio and your homepage images and they're progressing through your site and they're like, okay, I like their work, I like their style, they shoot the type of photography that I'm interested in, let's go learn more about them. This is where they're going to see what you look like, so it's not awkward when you guys meet for the first time and they're not like, oh, is that the photographer? I don't know, because I have no idea what they look like. So that's what they're learning on the about page, and then they're learning just about you in general. Are you somebody that they are going to get along with? Are you somebody that shares the same type of values that they do? What's your personality like? What is working with you going to be like? Are you a clock watcher, or are you more laid back? Do you like to pose people, or do you like photojournalism style and just kind of capture natural moments? That's the kind of things that people are looking for on the about page. They want to know what you're like, what working with you is going to be like, those types of things. And you can always do that with an about video. Like I always say, definitely something to think about. All right, let's see. Let me go to the contact page really quick. Let's check that out. This is the built-in contact page. Now, you have turned off these side options over here and just kind of using the form. That is perfectly fine to do. This is really easy. It's nice to use. People just click on here and they can go in and they type in their name and send a message right through here. The contact form is great. You can create custom contact forms using custom pages and third parties like Jotform if you want to do that. But in most cases, I find that the built-in contact page works just fine for what we need it to do. I do think that it's nice to include the location information over here. So I noticed that it's turned off. Excuse me. I noticed that the location information is turned off over here, and that I would probably turn it back on just for SEO purposes alone, just so it's showing here on this page as well. All right, let's check out your client access page really quick. And I want you guys to see this. So when I clicked client access, it opened it up in a new tab. So I was here, I clicked client access, and this opened up in a new tab. And then we have this over on the right. So client access is a built-in feature where you can create a gallery ID and it lets your clients enter the gallery ID and then they can go right to their gallery. It's definitely one way to get clients to their gallery. Now, back to why I was pointing out this new tab is because there's not really a reason for this to open in a new tab. We are still on Zenfolio, so we never left your website. So I would just have this client access page open up in this same tab here. The only time I really recommend having things open up in a new tab is if somebody's leaving your Zenfolio site. If you're linking to an external website, or maybe you're linking to a pre-order page or anything where they're going to lose your Zenfolio site navigation, that is when you want to link to or open it up in a new tab. So that way they can always click back to this tab and still have your Zenfolio navigation. So the new tab on that one, in my opinion, not necessary. What do you guys think in chat? Let me know. You guys think that the new tab for that's okay? Is it a little overkill? Is it not necessary? Let me know in chat what you guys think. All right, 56 seconds. Let's see what your shop page is all about. Now, guys, this page, again, opening up in a new tab really quick. And just to show you, this is a new tab right here. And this shop page is a built-in page. And what this page is it's the shop homepage. Now, why are we seeing this? There's no products available for purchase, because this shop page only works and only displays content when you navigate to it from a gallery that has a price list on it. So in order for the shop page to work, it has to have two things. It has to have a gallery of images that then has a price list so it can know what images and what products to display. So this is not something that you want to link to from your site menu, just linking to the general shop page. It needs to come from a gallery. So I would strongly recommend removing this from your site menu because this is really going to confuse people. They're not going to understand why there's no products. And the reason is because we didn't navigate to the shop page from a gallery where there was actually a price list. So something to think about there. Overall, I think you've got a great site. Thank you so much for submitting it. Just go back, a couple of those different things. Again, just making sure that you understand these pages and that you want to link to them up here. All right. Okay, you guys, that was it for the backlog of reviews. So next we're going to be doing one of your websites. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll come right back.
Hello, Zen friends. Katie here from Zenfolio's customer support team. Thank you for joining us for Site Review Tuesday. If you are here for our live broadcast, you may already see me right over here in YouTube chat, ready to help with any questions you may have. For those of you watching the recorded version of our broadcast, you could submit any questions that you might have in the link below in the video description. You can also submit your own site for our review in the links below. Also, if you love us as much as we love you, please be sure to click the like button on this video and subscribe to our channel for lots of great info on managing your Zenfolio account and customizing your site. We're so grateful to have these pre-submitted user sites. Now let's take one of your live submissions. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for watching.
All right, thanks, Katie. And again, you guys, make sure you show Katie some love there in the chat. She does an amazing job of taking care of you guys. I got to stop talking so much. We've only got 19 minutes left, and 15 minutes of that is going to be a review. So the site that was randomly picked from you guys viewing today, let me just go ahead and grab that and bring that over. And that is Robert Orsa Photography. Now, guys, if you were hanging out with us live, if you submitted your site and it did not get picked, that doesn't mean anything other than my random number generator did not draw your random number. Now, what it does mean is that your site goes into our review backlog for potential review later on down the road, and you can always come back next week, next Tuesday. We do this every Tuesday, and submit your site. Now let me stop talking so I can get through this review and still have enough time to say goodbye to you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into here. All right, and so here we are on Robert Orsa Photography. Hey, Robert, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. If I'm not pronouncing that middle name or that last name right, definitely let me know in the chat. One of the things I'm noticing is this, I don't know if this is a logo file or not. I think this is got to be a logo file because this is a little bit small. That logo file is pretty overwhelming. It's in your site header, so it looks like it looks like in your site header. We'll check in a second. One of the things that you might want to do is go into the site header settings and set that logo file to scale. So there's two options when you upload a logo into your Zenfolio site header. One of them is to not scale and keep it as it was. And then the other option is to scale. And I would probably go in and set that logo file to scale. And then you can control the size of that logo with two different things. You can control it with the height of your header, and then you can control it with the amount of padding that you put around it. And so for me, I'm getting just a little claustrophobic at the tightness of the logo up here on top and then over here to the left. I'd like it to be brought in just a little bit so I can see it and it doesn't feel like it's crowding the other elements, especially like right down in here where it gets really close to your site menu. So set that to scale, add a little bit of padding, play around with your header height, and get that logo kind of squeezed in just a little bit. Other than that, I think it's perfectly fine. Now, I like the black and white theme that you've got going on. So right out the gate, I can tell that like you are establishing black and white as your branding. You have up here in the top, you have a black and white favicon, great here. Definitely can add some more information in the website title. Again, think about how that's going to show up in search results. Right now, all that's going to say is Robert Orsa Photography. What else do you do? Let's add it in there. Or let's add a location. Let's add the type of photography you do. That's all good information that you can have in there, okay? All right. Going back here, checking out your site menu, we've got home, galleries, photo booth, about, and contact. And so far on this page right here, the only thing that I would have to say that I might think about changing is going in and maybe removing some of the portrait orientated images so that every image in this slideshow fits this frame. A lot of times I'm not a huge fan of frames, but I think it works when the image is fitting it. But when it comes to those portrait orientated images, it makes it look a little bit odd with the empty space next to it. Now, one thing that you can do is you can pull up 3 portrait orientated images in Photoshop, put them together as like a collage, and most of the time that will get you pretty close to matching the same image dimensions as your horizontal orientated images. Might not be perfect, but then at least you can show those portrait orientated images still in portrait orientation, but it will fit better on this homepage slideshow. Okay, moving forward, let's go check out your galleries. On the images on the homepage, I think you have some beautiful photos. It doesn't feel like there's too many. Looks like you do a lot of variety of work. I do know I've seen the slideshow start over again, and I don't feel like it's been running for a crazy amount of time with a lot of images, so I think that's fine. Let's go check out your galleries and take a look. All right, so one of the things I would definitely recommend is creating a drop down. So this kind of navigation where I have to click on galleries and then go back and click on other galleries can really become cumbersome to your visitors. It can take a lot of time. So just to show you, I click on galleries and then I want to go to portraits and headshots. All right, I'm now in portraits and headshots, and if I navigate to a different gallery, and then if I want to go back and look at something else, I now have to go back to galleries and then pick another gallery. And then some of these kind of feel like maybe they're client galleries, so you might want to think about this. On your website, one of the things that you want is you want to think about visitors. And you want to think about visitors getting to the content that they're looking for as quick as possible. And so if I'm a visitor and I'm interested in hiring you as a portrait photographer, I don't want to be confused about where I need to go to see examples of your portraits or your headshots, right? I want to see a menu item where when I hover over it, it tells me go here for portraits and headshots. And then when I click on that, I don't want to have these different galleries to navigate through. I want to be dropped into a gallery where I see your best 10 to 20 portrait headshot images. That way I can see the diversity of your work and I'm not having to do all of this back and forth navigating. So definitely you want to think about the navigation for your visitors and how you want that to look versus the navigation for your clients. All right, so I would definitely go through and cherry pick your images out of here and create a single gallery for your portraits, and then maybe create a single gallery for your best 10 to 15 headshot images and have that linked from this gallery drop down so that as a visitor, I know exactly where to go to see your best portrait work or your best headshot work, to see examples of that. Because this navigation, if I'm browsing through it, gets a little tiresome and it takes a long time. So going back to galleries here, if I wanted to navigate now to weddings and engagements, right? Now I'm seeing these different galleries. And the other thing too that I'm left as a visitor wondering is this stuff that I'm supposed to be seeing? So as a visitor, am I supposed to be seeing these client wedding galleries? Also, I'm maybe left wondering, if I hire you as a photographer, are my photos going to be up here for people to browse through, right? Are my photos going to be here where it's just an open gallery that anybody can click on and browse through? That's kind of one of the things that I'm left wondering. And so you really don't want to cause that confusion out the gate. You want to make sure that you have this set up so when visitors are here looking at your work, trying to decide if they want to hire you as a photographer, they know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm supposed to be looking at these photos. These are the photos that he's picked out for me. This is the type of work that he does. And I'm not accidentally getting into a client gallery. I'm not like, oh man, is somebody going to come across my gallery like this? So I would think about the way that you have this site menu set up. Again, here we do have the all photographs. So this galleries is going right to all photographs. So if I scroll down, chances are there could be something that I might not really supposed to be able to access anyway. So one of the things I never recommend linking to is your all photographs section here. Definitely never recommend linking to that. You want to have separate sections built into your site to accommodate your clients, your visitors, and then any admin needs that you have, like logo file storage, different things like that. And they need to be linked differently, and they need to have different access control settings so that some are public and found, some are hidden, some are password protected, all of that stuff. So there are a lot of great resources on our YouTube channel that will guide you through setting those up. Just go do some searching for like client access, organizing, different things like that. All right. So let's go check out your photo booth link here. And let's see. So this is taking me to, looks like my internet's being a little bit slow. So it's taking me to, looks like a custom page. All right, so let's take a look. So great job taking on custom pages. Lots of people do not even know that these exist, let alone go in there and try to take them on their own. So great job setting this up, getting some information in here. Let's scroll down and take a look and see what we have in here. So open air photo booth, not crammed into an enclosed booth. Great information here. Let's keep going here. So some examples, right? So I think this is a great setup. I love that you have your package and your pricing information down here. I think this is great. So a couple of things here let's do. Let's think about organizing this a little bit more. Let's think about having maybe something where it's a little section header that says examples of photo booths. Maybe you can get somebody to do a little bit of behind the footage scenes of a photo booth, or you at a photo booth, and kind of show how it works, show people having fun. So people that are here have that to kind of view and see what it's like to have one of your photo booths at their wedding or something like that. Or maybe you have a really great attendant that works at your booth and his interaction with the guests are just stellar, right? And that's something that you really want to highlight. So thinking about how you can do that with video and showing that here on a custom page is really going to help this just kind of improve the overall, use of the page. The other thing too down here, having this pricing and all of this stuff, great job setting this up. Looks like you're using either some tables or maybe you just kind of pre-formatted this out. But great job actually putting this on here as text and not doing this as an image. One of the things that I would love to see in here is I would love to see call to actions. I will always recommend call to actions anywhere you have the ability to put text and you think somebody might be thinking about contacting you. Almost all of the text fields that you can enter information in Zenfolio will allow you to link to things, except for maybe like the gallery title. But captions, custom pages, all of those different places allow you to use a link tool to actually link to things. So if you are creating a page that says your pricing, you might want to think about, okay, as somebody's reading this, maybe the urge will hit them, okay, I like what I'm seeing, I want to contact this photographer. And you can put a call to action here that just says, interested in having my photo booth, click here to reach out to me, however you want that to be, or whatever wording you want it to be. Just making an easy way for people to act on their impulses in the moment they have them. So rather than me having to scroll back up and look for your contact page, right? Because even though that's not that big of a deal, if I'm on a phone or something like that, that scrolling could be a pain maybe. Who knows? But if I'm here reading it and it just says, click here to contact me, boom, I click there and I go to your contact page. So thinking about how you can utilize call to actions anywhere that you're adding text. All right, let's go back up here and let's keep moving on. Let's go check out your about page. And then maybe we'll circle back around and hit up some of those gallery pages and just take a little bit more in-depth look at some of the gallery pages. Great about photo. Very cool. I like that you have the about photo here. Again, it's always awkward to me, right? When you think about hiring people for services, right? And especially if you're hiring a photographer, you have to go out and meet them out in public or something like that. Like you want to make that first interaction as not awkward as possible. And one of the most simple ways that you can remove some of the roadblock in that, or removing it from being awkward, is letting the clients know what you look like, so that when they're there out in the park walking around, or they're sitting in their car and they're waiting for you to pull up, or however the case may be, they know and have a good idea of what to expect and know what you look like, so they know who they're looking for. So they're not sitting there being like, okay, well, I wonder if that's the photographer. So I always recommend at least having a current about photo. So good job having that set up. We've got some text information here, some venue information here. So I'm going to give you bonus points on this. I don't think I gave bonus points the whole show. Bonus points for having venue location. Let's take these venue locations and turn them into separate links for each venue. Have them open in a new tab. Okay, so link to each venue, have them open up in a new tab, and then go to each venue, email them and say, hey, I just wanted to let you guys know I'm a wedding photographer, I have a photo booth business, and a lot of times I get clients who haven't even picked out their venue yet, are still looking for venues, and so I've made a list and I've linked to your venue specifically. Do you guys mind giving me a link back from your website? So you're encouraging that you're building that relationship with the venue, you're providing value to your clients by suggesting venues, and you're linking to sites that are then linking back to you. So all of those are really, really good for you just on a business level, and it is an SEO level as well. So definitely something to think about there. Okay, again, just using the link tool, thinking about call to actions. Again, I would love to see a video here. So I am gonna like jump out of my seat when I come across somebody's website who has an about video. I think it's gonna be amazing, but I think you've got a pretty good about page here. Let's check out your contact page really quick. And you're keeping things consistent. So every page that we've gone to, the navigation has stayed the same up top. I haven't felt like I've went to some other website or I'm in some weird place. Like the navigation has stayed the same. So great job setting that up. It looks like you're in California. So might want to think about adding some location information on some pages earlier on, just so that we don't get to your last site menu item. And that's finally where we see your location information. So make me thinking about that earlier on. This is the built-in contact page. Perfectly fine to use this, gets the job done, super simple to set up. You don't have to do anything extra with it. It's already done, set up, ready for you to use. All right, so overall, Robert, I think you've got a great setup. My biggest issue is the organization and the way that your galleries and your portfolios are set up. So I definitely think you want to go back and come up with a strategy on how you want to separate things that are for visitors so they can see the best of your work. You can make sure that you're designing a path for them to follow to get to the information that they're looking for, which then eventually leads them to contacting you. And then if you want to service your existing clients here on the front end of your website, making sure that you have a path set up for that and that it's completely separate so that people understand, I'm not a client. This is where I go to see the portfolio. Oh, I'm a client and I'm just looking for my photos. This is where I need to go. Overall, though, you've got a pretty cool page. And then also with this logo here, just kind of bringing this logo in so it's not so tight up there on the top. Really quick, let's check out your Facebook page. Just make sure that link is working. I do like to check that out. So it looks like I need to log into my Facebook. So let me just log in really quick. Oh, I don't need to create a new account. No, don't do that. Let me log in really quick and let's just make sure that this Facebook is linking to the right thing. So let me now go back and try to click that Facebook link and let's see if this is actually going to your Facebook. So it looks like that is not going to Facebook. So I don't know if that's set up a little weird in there. Might be something that you want to take a look at. Is your Facebook link dead? Did it change? Did you rebrand yourself and change your name or something like that? Take a look at that Facebook link. All right, guys, let's see. We've got like 3 minutes left. So probably not going to have time to get into any questions. Maybe I can get into a question. Let me see if we actually have some questions here from you guys in chat. Let's see. Actually, let me go back and read some of your guys' comments. So a couple of questions here. If I missed your question, I apologize. Just trying to catch up on you guys in chat. Let's see. Lamar Photography says he's closed down his studio temporarily due to avoid contact. Totally understand. Again, we want you guys to be safe. We as Zenfolio are here for you guys as small business owners, and we're doing everything that we can. And like I said, if you're going to be having some unexpected downtime coming up in the next couple of weeks, definitely make sure that you jump on Zenfolio Live Thursday. We're going to be giving you guys some tips, some ideas on things you can do to maximize that downtime, and definitely some things that you can do with your Zenfolio account just to help you make sure that you're doing everything you can to keep focusing on your business in that potential downtime that you may be having. Let's see. Michael Scherer hanging out with us. Hey, Michael, thanks for jumping on here. Zap Cat says, hi, Katie. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Bill Little says, this was my first live view and it was extremely helpful. I'll be back for more. Awesome, Bill. Thanks for jumping on here and hanging out with us. Also, you guys, too, I think somebody asked it in the chat earlier. We do archive and save every single site review. So every site review Tuesday that we've done, you can actually see those. Go back and watch them. There's a link in the description below the video that says like site review archive. That will take you to the archive of our site reviews. Also, there should be a Zenfolio Live archive as well. So if you've got some downtime today and you're just like, hey, got some time, let's learn some things about Zenfolio, go explore the live stream archive. There are lots of things you can go through. If you're not subscribed to our channel, make sure you click the subscribe button. There are lots and lots of video tutorials on there to help you maximize your usage of Zenfolio, and what better time to start learning these things and going through it than now. All right. Okay, I do want to say thank you again so much to you guys who jumped on here, who hung out with me live. We really appreciate you guys that hang out with us live. We also really appreciate you guys who watch the recorded version of this as well. But again, hanging out with me live, I had Zapcats, CEC St. George, Lynn, Bill Little, Lamar Photography, Michael, and let's see, anybody else that I missed your name. Again, I really appreciate you guys jumping on here, week after week, hanging out with us. Don't forget, coming up Thursday, same time, Zenfolio Live, where we're going to be going over selling your photos online, things you can do in potential unexpected downtime. And hey, you guys, from all of us here at Zenfolio, make sure that you guys are being smart, that you're being safe, that you are washing your hands, but most of all, make sure that you guys are uplifting other people, that you're speaking kindness and compassion, and that you're taking care of other people, and that we're working together to keep things, to keep this world more positive, just to make sure that we're working together to make this world a better place. Stay safe, you guys. I'll see you guys Thursday. Until then, be safe, be smart, have a great week.